It's Wednesday afternoon and time for us to turn our attention to legal matters. This is part of our commitment to putting Southeast Texas first. We like to ask the judge and get answers to your questions. Joined this afternoon by Judge Randy Shelton from the 279th District Court in Jefferson County. Judge, good to see you.
Good to see you, Jordan.
Thanks so much for making time for us. This first question involves renters' rights. This viewer says, my apartment maintenance man appears to have entered my apartment several times without my permission. I had a pending work order for issues with my dryer. Does he have a right to enter, or can I request the complex call me first?
Well, even landlords need permission to enter your apartment, but usually in the lease that you sign, you've already given the landlord that consent. So check your lease to see what the terms are. But I don't think it's unreasonable for a tenant to know when a repairman is going to come by.
You know, one of the questions that we had as we were talking about this in the newsroom is if there's some sort of an emergency, say a water leak, that would, I assume, trump whatever agreement you have.
Well, obviously so, but I'm willing to bet that lease agreement, would give the landlord access if there's some sort of emergency. And I mean, you would probably want them in there fixing a leak because all your stuff is getting wet.
Right, right. This next question is from a viewer who's worried about neighbors' kids coming onto their property. She says, we live up in rural Hardin County, and I'm worried about my neighbors' kids riding ATVs on my land. Technically, wouldn't I be liable if they got hurt? It's posted, but it's so rural, it's really tough to keep them out. Am I crazy to be worried?
Well, I wouldn't call it crazy, but you're not responsible for injuries received by a trespasser on your land unless you willfully created a condition that caused the injury, like a booby trap or something like that. But if they're going along a trail and they run off the trail and hit a tree, you would not ordinarily be responsible for that. If you catch trespassers, though, on your land and you call the police can actually give the trespassers a trespass warning. And if the trespassers return after that, then they can be charged with a crime.
All right. Kids probably don't mean any harm, but obviously you understand some of her concern there. All right. This final question involves child custody. We divorced when my oldest daughter was 8. She's now 14. And appears to be interested in making the case to move in with her dad. Will this end up with us going back to court?
Well, it could, unless you and your daughter's dad agree, yes, you could have to end up in court. A child 12 years or older can tell the judge what the child's wishes are, but it's still up to the judge to decide what is in the best interest of the child. So it's not just an automatic.
So what makes the age of 12 significant in Texas? That's just kind of a marker?
I don't know. It used to be 14, and then it went to, actually it was 12, then it went to 14, and then went back to 12. But, I guess at age 12, I think they feel like that at least the kids can kind of articulate the reasons why they want to go. But again, sometimes the reasons just might not be enough for the judge to go along with that move. I mean, some of the things that we're concerned about would be, will it require a school change? What kind of support system does the other parent have? Do they live in a relatively close proximity to the other parent? There's just a whole lot of factors that go into making that decision. But generally, I mean, the older the kids are, the more I think the judge would kind of, would be more likely to go along with the kid on the move.
All right, Judge, we really appreciate you breaking down those considerations for us. Friends, if you've got a question for the judge, go to 12newsnow.com/askthejudge, and there's a form to fill out right there.